Hey everybody, hopefully you all are doing good. In this video, I'll be talking about three different stocks that I've added to my long-term portfolio, basically short-term investment portfolio and swing trading portfolio. And I'll also be talking about what stocks I got into, and more importantly, what's the plan behind them and what's the thought process behind getting on or investing in these stocks. Hopefully it helps you understand how to invest and how to think about the stock market or stocks in general. So with that being said, let's actually get started and get going. And before I jump onto the screens, I wanted to quickly give you guys an update. If you have been watching my videos previously on this channel, you might have noticed that I've been really inconsistent with posting on YouTube, at least for the last 1 or 2 months. And the reason for that is I have been helping other traders with their own trading journey. It's been like one-to-one coaching. And for a while, I was doing this one-to-one Zoom calls. And as you can imagine, there was a lot of issues with it. It's their schedule, my schedule. And when I'm taking a new student, I had to repeat the same exact thing over and over again. And the most important thing when it comes to helping anybody else in their trading journey is the feedback. What I did in the past few months, which kept me busy, is I recorded, just like created a course, pre-recorded everything from day trading, from swing trading to short-term investing, where we are holding positions for like multiple weeks to a few months at a time, and how to spot those opportunity. And with that course, people can consume that information and knowledge at their own pace, at their own convenience, at the schedule that suits them better. That just frees up. And when they're meeting me for one-to-one calls, I can be more productive, or I can really help them move forward with those feedbacks, because it's not just the knowledge, it's how do you apply the knowledge? Have you consumed all the knowledge? How do you understand all the knowledge? And basically this way, it's just going to be much more effective for me to help anybody, where I can spend more time giving them feedback and really helping them move the needle forward. So that was a project that I was working on, and I couldn't post any videos for a while. And second thing just wanted to mention is real quick that for this entire month, I think I won't be actively day trading at all. I think I won't be able to actively day trade for the entire month. That would be a more accurate way of putting it, because there has been an internet wire cut under the Red Sea, and my country seems to be affected. And any service that I use, which is primarily based in the US, and they have all the servers in the US, I'm really finding it very difficult to access them. And you'll see in a second where even like my charting platforms such as TC2000, which is primarily just a US based company, and it seems like all their back stuff is just in the US, the servers are in the US. So it's just really slow, to the point where you just can't use the software. My execution platform has been pretty much the same thing, and in terms of just software and technology, it's just not working at all. Even though the news channels were saying that this problem might just get fixed in up to 6 weeks, and knowing Dubai, I think it's mostly going to get fixed up in like a week and a half at tops. Just knowing the countries and cities history and how quick and just how good they are in just getting things up and running again. So, but enough about that. Let's actually get onto the stocks and talk about this investing, and why I chose these stocks, and what makes them a good investment, and what I'm actually looking for. What's the game plan? So let's actually get into this. So if you notice the screen, this is the very first sticker symbol that I'll be talking about, which is CCJ. And I'll actually just pull up my charting platform. I think if I just minimize, yeah. So this is A-Lab is one, and CCJ is one more. But what I was talking about with the internet issues, if I just type in a ticker symbol, it just takes forever. And it's not the internet speed. My internet speed is just 1 Gbps or 1 Mbps, whatever it is. It's pretty high. So that shouldn't be a problem. But you see this, and this is just a charting platform. My execution platform, where you're actually executing positions, is just not even loading up this is still fast. If I type in a ticker symbol on my executions platform, it's taking up to 15 minutes just to load up the charts. So you can imagine, like, it's just not tradable. and not much to do about it. So, like I was saying, CCJ is the very first ticker symbol that I'll be talking about, and breaking down what was I looking at, how did I find the stock, and basically my thought process behind it. So you know how to think about investment and how to manage an investment. So first thing first, CCJ is a nuclear power company. So basically clean energy. And right now, if any of us, pretty much would know that clean energy is all the hype, gas, pollution, and petrol. It all seems to be just going somewhere in the environment where it's just not a good enough. And more than anything, it's mostly just most of the countries are just shifting towards clean energy. More and more companies, more and more countries. My bad. Even the Middle East, which is primarily a region which produces energy for rest of the world. Basically, Saudi Arabia would be one big country which supplies a lot of energy or petrol or oil to US. Even these countries which are primarily relying on oil, they are also shifting towards clean energy. So that's the thought process, and this is a growing industry and a sector. That's the very first thing about this ticker symbol CCJ, and it's a Canadian company that has been working on the nuclear power and energy side of things. And if you know anything about nuclear power, it is one of the cheapest and one of the most cleanest sources of energy productions out there. Basically, it's just the cleanest form of producing energy, and also the cheapest. Only difficulty when it came to nuclear, at least a few years ago, it was just very difficult to create and a lot more expensive to at least get started with it. But that is just the theme of the investment. But if we just take a look at it and have some notes written over here, because I'm just going through a lot of stocks and it's hard to remember them. But if you notice their earnings and numbers, and this is one of the most important things when it comes to investing into stocks, right? At the end of the day, stocks are businesses, and the easiest way to judge a business, if it's a good business or a bad business, is just to look at the numbers. If the company is consistently selling more and more, and the sales are growing, the profits are growing, everything is basically growing, that's a really healthy sign. And those numbers need to prove themselves that it is a good investment as a stock. And you, as an investor, should only and only be looking to invest in the best of the best companies, right? Now, I typically follow the very common value investing sort of ideas when it comes to thought process behind just me looking to invest and hold into positions long term. But if we take a look at this stock, it has the sales have been increasing for the consistently for the last 3 years, year over year, and even for the quarterly wise. It's been consistently going up. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about what are their sales numbers and what percentages are they growing based off of, because I think Nasdaq.com is another free tool that you can just go and type in over there. But the general idea, the main idea behind stock is their sales have been growing for the last 2-3 years consistently. Quarter over quarter, their sales have been proving that there is a lot of demand. Their business has been proven in the market, and there's a lot of demand for their product or services or whatever the company actually does. So this is one of the reasons that I got it into this stock. And even though like all these positive numbers for the company, and the price is really doing that. Now, that's not alone a good enough reason for us to just jump into the stock just because of that. And a good reason to jump into the stock would be basically whenever you get to know about a stock, or the company's financials are doing really healthy, that is the time to start putting that stock into your watch list. And the moment you do that, right after that, you need to wait for the market to give you a really good place for you to place your bet or enter into that stock where your risk is lower than your reward. Your risk to reward ratio is just much more higher. Now, in this stock right now, I just entered right over here. In fact, I found out about this stock about a few days ago, and it was already ranging. So I thought it was a good idea for me to enter this stock. Some red flags for this stock was it had already broken out and failed once. In fact, yesterday also, when I just entered this position, since I'm only able to trade with my web platform, These swing trading positions are much more easier to get in because you're not worrying too much about the slippage or getting the best and best price or really tight stops. So this is where I actually entered yesterday, and even yesterday when I entered, this again had a failed breakout. But today, right at the market open, it just broke out. And what I'm looking for to target right now, this is the stock's all-time highs. So it's kind of making its all-time highs. And my plan is to wait until 100 because I think that's a nice round number. And normally I would be looking at 20 to 25% anyway. So even 20% would be 95. And maybe if the stock continues to perform really well, you might even be able to get that 100. But the main concept to take away from here was, again, just numbers, right? The next stock that I want to go at is, oh wow, it was pretty quick. So this was a stock I entered last week, and very similar logic. This is a semiconductor company that produces semiconductors. And right now, with AI being such a hype, computing power is just so much more needed right now. And there's just a lot more demand. And this being a stock that produces that, their chips have already started to sell. And in terms of the sales numbers, they seem to be doing really good. In fact, the EPS numbers, basically earnings per share, has been gone up by 238%, which is massive, which is all the signs that you get from a superstar sort of a stock. For 3-year sales growth has been 154. So those are really good numbers. Over the 3 years, the average sales growth has been 154%. So they're selling more products, their profits have been increasing, and basically overall the company has been growing and doing really well. And again, you just use your technical, once your thesis has been formed and fundamental reasons are in place, and you know that the stock is a good investment, that's where we get interested in a stock. And right after that, it's just for the price to tell us when is the best time for us to enter. And right like that, there was a good moment right at this breakout at 190. I got entered, and I'm looking to target 250s. If we look at just 25 to 20%, this would be about 130-ish prices, 130, 140s. But I think 250 again could be a decent target for me to achieve this stock, just because of a round number, and a lot of traders and investors might be interested in taking profits. And right after, and I don't want to hold on to this stock for too long as well. Even as an investment, I might be able to hold on to this stock for like 2 weeks or so. But anything after that, 250, we might get some reaction from a lot of investors starting to take profits, and it might just take a big dip down. It may or may not, it doesn't really matter, but it's a good idea to start taking some profits and paying yourself, right? And the last stock I wanted to go over was this. Now, this is not an investment. It's purely, I entered right at this breakout. And the reason for me to still getting familiar with this trading view software, I used to use it a few years ago, but ever since I moved on to TC2000, it's just never really had a reason to go back. And but anyways, so this was a healthcare pharmaceutical company, and they had 2 phase 3 medical trials recently, and they both were positive, and they achieved like 85% of whatever the goals were with that study. So it's a very healthy sign for a healthcare company to have 2 trials and to go to phase 3 trials and achieve positive results with those trials. That is a really good, strong sign. And as we can see, I don't know, how do you measure it? I think it's shift, yeah. So this was the very first day when this news actually came out, and I was day trading that stock that day. But because the news was just so good, I knew that we could get some more out of this stock, but not as a day trade. Now I think it could just keep on moving slow and steady, moving ahead. And I think my levels, oh yeah, finally it's open. So my levels on this stock, and the reason to have these levels, let me go down to weekly chart. Okay, fine. So this is the very first target that I'm actually looking for, 70. Now, if it doesn't go there all the way, that's fine. I have my trailing stop losses, but you see, there's nothing tangible behind this stock like finances and money involved. It's not showing that the company is actually growing, and then there are not a lot of numbers. It's just news and information. That's it. That makes it a speculation, not an investment. But when there is a business doing really well and consistently growing and increasing the profits and sales, that's a good investment, and that's good value investing principles. But this to me is just another long trade, and I think I'll be holding this for a while. Maybe it can reach 70 in a week or 2 weeks. Let's see what happens, and I'll just be trailing my stops a lot more aggressively because it's not an investment. It's more of a uh, uh, speculative trade, rather, but swing trade. So I'll just end the video right over here. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this one. More importantly, how to think about a stock as an investment. Numbers have to prove themselves, and then the price or the chart has to show itself that whatever you're thinking correctly. So, and even after that, you have to wait for the market to actually give you a position or place where you can enter into a position where the risk to reward is much more favorable and the probabilities are more in your favor. So that's about it. But enough about these stocks. I'll just end the video over here. Hopefully you guys gain some value out of this and more importantly, hopefully you guys gain some food for thought on how to think about stocks before you invest and before you even trade them. So if you did find it valuable, consider hitting the like button and subscribe to this channel to see more videos just like this one. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.